Hey guys, we are going to do some examples of solving systems by substitution, okay? And you can do this one or any of them with y equals, but sometimes actually using substitution is easier. So here we go. I'm going to solve this one. And as I'm solving it, I'm going to use this bottom one here as my y because it looks like it's a simpler equation than the top one. So I know that this is y equals x plus 2. So for this top equation, I'm going to rewrite it as x plus 2 in place of y because we can see that y equals x plus 2 equals 2x plus 7. Now I'm going to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract x on this side. I do it there, I got to do it here. That gives me 2 equals 2 minus 1x will give us just x plus 7. And then I need to move the 7 over to this side. And now I know x equals negative 5. Now I can plug the x in to either equation. I'm going to pick the bottom one and solve for y. So y equals x, we know is negative 5, plus 2, and y therefore will equal negative 3. So now we have our solution, which is negative 5 and negative 3. So let's check it with the calculator. I'm going to hit second plus 7, 1, 2, and then I'm going to hit y equals. I'm going to put 2x plus 7, enter, and then I'm going to put x plus 2. I'm going to hit second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. And I can see that we got it right, and x is negative 5 and y is negative 3. Let's do another one. I'm going to hit clear that off. Let's hit the next one. And we have a little bit more complicated problem, but it's still going to be easy to solve. Now this one would be harder to solve with the calculator using y equals because neither one of these are in y equal form or slope-intercept form. So let's use the substitution method. As you see, this top one is already letting us know that x equals, x equals, this should be a plus. Sorry for the typo, I'll fix that later. So x plus 3y equals 1. So, well, I thought it equaled x, but it doesn't. So we will just keep going forward. I'm going to rewrite it here so we don't get confused. And x plus 3y equals 1 should be our equation. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to move this 3y over. I'm going to subtract 3y on that side. I'm going to subtract it on this side. And that's going to give me x equals 1 minus 3y. So like before, I now know what x is. So I can plug it into this bottom equation. So negative 3, we now know x is 1 minus 3y. Minus 3y equals negative 15. So let's solve for y. We need to distribute to get rid of the parentheses, and we're going to have negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 will give us a positive 9y minus 3y equals negative 15. So let's combine our y's. 9y minus 3y will give us 6y. And we have a negative 3 here equals negative 15. Let's move the 3 over to the other side by adding it. And that's going to give me I'm going to write it over here. 6y equals, let's see, negative 15 plus 3 will give us a negative 12. Divide both sides by 6. And we now know that y equals negative 2. So now we know what y is. So I'm going to plug y into this first one. I'm going to put x plus 3 times negative 2 equals 1. And we know that x, 3 times negative 2 will give us a negative 6 equals 1. And let's move the 6 over. And now we know x equals 7. So the solution to this system is x is 7 and y is negative 2. And I am not even going to put this into a slope-intercept form to check it. I already know it's right. It worked. You can substitute in, well, I'll show you how to check it. Let's do it this way. This is how you can check your problems and you'll always get them right. So let's pick the first equation, and I know x is negative 2. And that's for that x, plus 3 times negative 2. I'm sorry, I didn't even write that right. Here, let's do it again. X is 7, there we go, plus 3 times y is negative 2 equals 1. And let's see if we got it right. We know 7, well, let's get rid of the parentheses. 7, 3 times negative 2 would give us negative 6 equals 1. And we know 1 equals 1. Therefore, our equation is correct. Our solution to the equation is correct. Let's do one more. Okay. Looks like a lot, but not too much going on here. I'm going to choose the bottom one because I'm going to solve for y here by moving this 5x over. Okay, so that goes away, and now we know y equals 19 plus 5x. And I can plug that one in to our first equation here, which is negative 3x minus 8 times y, which is 19 plus 5x, close parentheses, equals 20. So let's get rid of the parentheses. So we have negative 3x, 19 times 8 is 19 times 8 is 152. So minus 152, and negative 8 times 5 would be minus 40x equals 20. Now we can combine these x's, and a negative 3x and a negative 40x would give us negative 43x. And we have minus 152. Okay? Now let's add 152 over here. That's going to give us negative 43x equals, what's that, 172? Okay. Divide both sides by negative 43. Let's see if this works. So 172 divided by negative 43 gives me negative 4. So we know x equals negative 4. Now we can plug that in and solve for y. I'm going to pick the second equation because it's not as busy. And I'm going to get negative 5 times negative 4 plus y equals 19. And I can see a negative times a negative will give me a positive 20 plus y equals 19. Minus 20 over here, minus 20 over here. And now we know that y is going to equal negative 1. So our solution is negative 4 and negative 1. And like I said a minute ago, we can check it. We know x is negative 4. So negative 5 times negative 4 plus, well, y is a negative 1 equals 19. And we have a negative times a negative, which is 20, minus 1 equals 19. And we know that it is. Let's see if there's any more. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. That's it for solving systems by substitution. On the next page, you have a worksheet which you can look at. You'll need to do your work on paper. And then when you get your answer, you will need to submit it on the quiz. The problems are on the quiz, but you can look at the worksheet if you want. The same questions are on the quiz as well. There's only 10 of them. And a lot of them are just y equals, so they should be easy. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching.